Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. And I want to welcome you to the Live with Leslie show. And I'm Leslie Bytel. So here's the deal. If you are looking for strategies to help you to streamline your nutrition business and also an opportunity to really explore membership models, you are definitely in the right place today. So today I'll be talking with Allie, otherwise known as Alexandra. It sounds so official.
Yes.
Right? I love that name. It's one of my favorite names, from EatLove. And today we're going to delve into the benefits of business automation through EatLove and the advantages of membership models. So we got a lot of juicy content in store for you guys today. And for those of you that don't know me, welcome. I'm Leslie Bytel, and I'm a practice growth expert as well as a business coach for health practitioners who want to attract more clients, sell more programs, and ultimately build a profitable practice while integrating multiple streams of income into their business models. So today's topic is actually a perfect fit. I love talking about memberships. It really gives us a wonderful opportunity to create that additional revenue stream, right? So we're not 100% reliant on the one-to-one business model. So again, welcome. Again, we are talking with Alexandra from EatLove on how to automate your business with EatLove. So I'm just going to call you Allie because that's how I know.
Perfect. Yep. I think that's how everyone knows me. So
I think
that's perfect.
So anyway, it is so good to see you, Allie. It's always such a treat. I love
As always, Leslie, happy to be here. Happy to, as always, connect with your community. I know a lot of our communities have a lot in common, of course, with business automation and the ways to grow your practice, scale your practice, and work less. At the end of the day, we all want to work a little bit less without having to work harder at the same time.
Right. Yeah. What I think everybody here, I would love to hear from our audience, but who doesn't want, more free time to spend with family, to develop hobbies? How about a little bit of self-care, right? A little bit of time for self-care. That would be a nice thing. And be able to either maintain your current revenue or hopefully grow it, right? Through different options that we can add into the revenue stream. So today, obviously, we're going to be talking about the membership model, which is such a cool opportunity that I'm seeing more and more health practitioners integrate into their own businesses with great success, I might add. Mm-hmm. Right. So, all right. So to kick things off, Allie, tell us, I think many people in our audience probably know you, but nonetheless, could you share a little bit about your background and what are you doing over at EatLove these days?
Yeah, we're doing so many things, Leslie, so many things. But before EatLove, I was like many of you trying to figure out in private practice, trialing and erroring and failing most of the time. It's a fun yet scary place to be. And I was actually an EatLove super user. I came across the technology through a friend that was in private practice, or at least starting a private practice, as many of us are doing out there. When we run webinars over at EatLove, I always love to pull the audience. And it seems like there's a 30-30 split between veteran private practice to prospect to this is my side hustle, hopefully main time dream in 6 months from now. So it's so wonderful to see where everyone is, because I know I was there at one point with you, learning every single thing I possibly could. And when I found EatLove, I was like, I see this immediately as a benefit, an added value to my practice where I can do things really quickly. And over the course of the last 3 years, we've added a whole bunch of product suites that you can create membership programs out of, or scale your one-on-one or group sessions, which still can technically be membership programs. So EatLove is really an automation tool for your business. It's an operating system for your client. It helps them feel empowered to choose meals and recipe recommendations based on a nutrition prescription that you provide. It takes the grittiness out of trying to come up with a meal plan and lets you focus on the things that actually matter. It's strategic nutrition prescription. It's getting into that relationship and learning why they have a hard time getting over their barriers, rather than spending all of our time on meal plans or nutrition analysis or creating nutrition handouts where, yeah, we have to do that, but we don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. Sometimes it's really tangible. So we feel like we have to check that box to feel like we're being productive in our business, but we absolutely don't have to if we can find a way to streamline that revenue. So all in all, I launched my private practice with EatLove pretty much the same day. I think there was a 2-week lag to that. And all it, really comes down to, I was actually really bored at the end of it because I didn't have a lot to do. Good news, I didn't have a lot to do. I was able to scale and make multiple revenue streams within month 1, month 2 of my practice. I actually think I did the reverse. I went group first. I didn't have many people in that group, let me tell you, but I really wanted to focus on that group model based on how much more revenue you can bring in, group being a membership model.
Right.
And being able to streamline how you're offering your education, and everything else that can be automated is automated. Let that automate itself. Let your one-on-one time be the thing that makes that program more expensive, and let them have access to your tools and resources, to the point where I was like, you know what? I love this company. I love everything they're doing. Let me go work for them and let me help some of our dietitians do very similar things. So a long-winded answer to that, but
that's a great backstory. What might be a great place for us to start our conversation then today is, could you share a little bit about your business model within your own private practice?
Absolutely.
It sounds like you've got a membership and maybe combined with some one-on-one, which I would use like maybe like a hybrid program.
Exactly. That's what it is. It is a hybrid program now. I would actually find myself sabotaging the one-on-ones to get them into the hybrid because it was just a little bit cheaper, but I could do 2 or 3 follow-up calls instead of the 6 one-on-one calls with them, and then still have a nice cohesive group that I can share the multi one-to-many messages, which were live Q&As and other things that I wanted to talk about, or even a curriculum that I had going at the same time. All things that really created at the same time. I know we get into our heads about, do I have to have this and I have to have this? And like, you're never going to feel ready to do anything.
Oh my gosh.
You just got to do it.
You just got to do it, right?
Actually, when I'm talking with some of our dietitians, I'm like, the first thing you need to do is select a date you want to launch this thing. You're going to keep kicking the can down the road. You're going to keep letting yourself find excuses to put it off a little bit longer. So if you announce this to the world that you are launching a membership or you are launching a new offer, you kind of got to follow through with it. And you're going to feel so much more excited about it anyway. So it's a scary method, but I know that motivates me pretty well. When you've delivered, you've already taken payment from some of these people, you have to deliver. So there is no putting that off anymore. I started with the one-on-ones. I shifted to the hybrid option rather quickly, just because I saw the most value in that model, where it had a couple of one-on-one touch points. I believe there was 2 after the initial assessments in month 1 and month 2. And then it was group after that. And I think like a weekly check-in. And then eventually I was like, you know what? I need somewhere to put all these people after they finish this 3-month offer. What do I do now? Well, I have to create another revenue stream so I can keep these people in my community for longer. And Leslie, I know you talk about your year-long network. You want them in that community for at least a year, whether that's they are downgrading from programs or upgrading into other offers that you're sharing with them. And I love that. I think it's like, it inspired me to want to do 6-month programs, which I had a couple before I started to scale back again, of the 6-month offer. And then you can put them into a recurring membership where it's completely hands off or it's partly hands on. So at one point in time, I had 5 revenue streams flowing through my EatLove portal. And there's a couple ways that you can do that. Of course, EatLove is by seat capacity. So our first seat capacity is 15 seats. That's pretty much your one-on-one people. You're not really going to be seeing much more than that for one-on-one. 15 one-on-one clients is a fabulous revenue, by the way. If you just want to do one-on-ones and you want to do those continuous programs, you may get to 5 people and say, I want to start pivoting now, or 10 people. Everyone has their magic number for one-on-one clients before you want to pivot and free up some time, stack programs on top of each other, and really make some more money. So then I have a larger seat capacity with my EatLove portal. So I'm like, well, I can do like 5 one-on-ones. I can do 20 hybrid people. I can do 20 membership where it's just Eat Love access, but I'm of course going to brand it and market it really cool and how it be relevant to my members, which is Mediterranean lifestyle. So my membership for that is called the Mediterranean Meal Planning Club. And I essentially do very minimal things. I send them a welcome email. I invite them to the platform. They have access to a free group that I talk about how to leverage your membership and how to get the most out of it. But it's also a marketing tool for me since it's free for everybody. So basically showing all the cool features that you can do within Eat Love to really streamline their system at home, your member system at home. So very hands-off in that sense. And then challenges, which is one of my favorite ways to leverage another type of membership or use it as an upsell into something else or to sell, keep them in your network a little bit longer. So all of those things really tied into it is at one point in time is what I had flowing through Eat Love, and didn't really have to work as many hours as you would expect it to, because like I said, everything that's automated, leave it automated. Let your program build off of your one-on-one time, because that's when the price starts to increase. But if you have two things that automate completely meal planning and nutrition analysis, which Eat Love does, I can offer those services and I can only spend 5 minutes to do both even, because I had a refresh button, boom, the meal plan is done. My client still has full control over what they see in their planner and what they actually want to make. And then the nutrition analysis may take me 5 minutes because it does all the work for me. And I, in the human overlay on top of that, go through and review where they are meeting their needs, where they're exceeding, where they may be deficient in nutrients. And then we can talk about making changes to their nutrition prescription based on that. But I don't have to go through and get screenshots or start calculating things by hand. There's tools that automate that these days, EatLove, of course, being one of them. So if you can find a way to automate some of those time sucks, I guess, it's just sucking up all your time to do that, absolutely. It's worth it. It's a huge benefit to how you do your daily method of operation as well. And you're going to see a huge turn in just revenue, and then also scalability and getting some time back in your day.
Wow. So you mentioned something that's intriguing to me, several things actually. But the thing that is really kind of cool is that you're focusing not so much, it doesn't sound like on like a disease state per se, in terms of your target audience. It sounds like, and you let me know if I'm interpreting this correctly, but it actually sounds like instead of targeting a disease state, you are instead targeting an eating lifestyle, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the intervention of many eating states. I've tried to go down that route, but then you get someone that comes through the door and is like, well, I have this. Will this work for me? I'm like, of course it'll work for you, but I don't want to put that blocker up relatively early. So it's actually following the lifestyle, and the intervention is the niche in itself. So of course you can sub niche and you could focus on brain health or diabetes within a Mediterranean lifestyle. But I found that my audience was pretty broad in what brings them to my page, because I do all my marketing on Instagram. And I've had a really hard time saying, okay, I'm going to niche down into this one area, because I feel like I'm leaving a lot of other people in the dark. And with the way that my membership is set up right now, I can see a lot of people with a lot of different states. We actually have a Mediterranean diet template on Eat Love that I can funnel everyone through, and it's general healthy eating. So I'm really not doing any MNT or anything specific like that. So I open up my door to see a lot more people.
I love that. Yeah. And, frankly, there are different ways we can niche down, right? Focusing on an eating style is definitely one way, right? It doesn't always have to be based on, okay, I specialize in this, in heart disease, right? Or metabolic syndrome. It can be the other way, the eating style. So I think that's so interesting how you went about that. Okay, so let's dig in a little bit. I would love actually to hear from our audience just a tad.
Yeah.
Guys, let me know. Do you have a membership? Do you want to have a membership? Give me a sense of where you are in that process. Okay. I would love, and I know it would be helpful for Allie as well, just so we get a sense of where everybody is today in terms of their progress forward, and a little bit about your aspirations. So And while we wait for some comments to come in, let's dig into, let's talk a little bit about outcomes, right? Because obviously we are in the business to help our clients to achieve specific results, right?
Mhm.
So what do you have to say about how outcomes are impacted positively or negatively, or really no impact, maybe it's neutral, when we move into automations, right?
Mhm.
Automating your systems.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's probably one of our mental blocks of, I'm a super hands-on practitioner and I do all of these
Right.
things. And if I start to take that away, they're not going to see the same results. And I think it's again, some area that we're not used to being in when we pride ourselves on personalized nutrition care or nutrition counseling. But in reality, we can be there as a guide, but we can't do the work for
Right.
them. We have to really empower our clients to take ownership over that change to begin with. And if we're putting more responsibility on them and we're challenging them along the way, which I think is an underutilized skill in our field, is just to like put a stake in the ground and really say, I need you to do this. I think our accountability as a collective could be, our accountability coaching could be stronger
Right.
from a field perspective. We need to have some of those coaching skills that go along with not only wonderful nutrition advice and recommendations and just knowledge overall. Of course, we're the experts, but it's understanding how to put that in an applicable way for our members to feel supported, motivated, so that they are able to achieve long-term success and be able to maintain that at the same time. So I
Right.
think it starts first and foremost internally, trying to break that mold of, we don't have to be as with our clients. We don't have to handhold them the entire time, because we have to empower them, and empowering them is going to challenge them. I know one of the ways that comes up first and foremost with my programs would be, of course, EatLove does meal plans really, really quickly. So like I could give them a 7-day meal plan. Of
Mhm.
course I could do that, but is this the answer that they need? Absolutely. They're probably going to ask me for it, but I'm challenging them. And this happens almost with every single new person that comes through my program. And I'm like, what are your meals that you're having the most trouble with? They're like, well, I really don't do well with dinners. I'm like, great, we're going to start with dinners. And they're like, well, I thought I got like a weekly meal plan. And I'm like, yeah, we're not going to do weekly meal plans. We're going to start and build slowly, and we'll add on meals as you can confidently and successfully stay accountable to carrying out that one tiny 1% improvement in your life.
I
And
love that.
yeah,
Oh, so good. I don't mean to interrupt, but do you have a background? Do you have coach training?
I was a health coach
Okay.
at a time,
Yeah.
not a little bit ago. It was through college, but I was told early on in that interview process, by the way, and I think it's such an important tidbit that I'll share with our community, because you've probably heard this before, where dietitians are prescriptive.
Yes.
To a point where we're almost too prescriptive, and we're not really. We know we can educate and we can showcase all of these things, but if we are not meeting them where they are in their journey, they're not going to be successful. So we have to leave our ego at the door of what we want them to achieve. And we have to say, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? And how are you going to do this? I'm going to be here to help guide you, and I'm going to help structure your goals. And I'm going to help you see when things are a little bit too ambitious right away, because you don't want them to fail and get discouraged. So when I have that conversation with them on the meals and getting started, sometimes I'll be like, okay, week 1, you schedule as many meals as you want, and we'll talk about it next week. And I'll go in and I can actually see through EatLove what they've scheduled, what they're planning, and I'll see maybe 12 meals. And I'm like, 12 meals is a lot of meals. Like, I'm personally not making and planning for 12
Right.
meals on a weekly basis. I got
A
4.
lot.
That's where I hit my cap. 4, to the point where I'm so consistent with that, I can't tell you the last time I haven't followed that structure, because it is built into my DNA right now of, yeah, I'm going to schedule a breakfast, a lunch, 3 dinners. I'm only cooking dinner 3 times. I'm not a huge leftover person, so I can suffer through leftovers for a couple days, but it's not going to be something that I batch on Sunday for the whole week. And then when we come back the next week, they're like, yeah, 12 was a little bit much. And I'm like, okay, let's reframe this. What is going to be the most pinpoint that we can put in right now? Is it dinner? Is it breakfast? Is it lunch? Can you hold yourself accountable to 2 dinners and we throw on 2 leftovers. That way it gets you 4 days a week. Right now you're telling me that you're ordering out 3 days a week. So if we can get in here for the week and we can have 4 home cooked meals, what do you think that effect is going to feel like on not only your health and lifestyle, but your wallet, your time, all of this, of course, ordering out's expensive. So if we can help them do this at home in their own timeline, it's going to be much better. So there's a lot of challenging, there's a lot of accountability work that goes into these memberships.
Yes.
Where instead of taking all of their inputs and they're kind of using you as a database to analyze everything that they're telling you, structuring it for them, pulling that information in and then pulling it back out. They could have 5 different goals and some of them could have sub goals, but we're not going to cover all of them at once. There's no way that we'd be able to be successful with that. And you can tell them, not call one, even in your insight call, if you're doing insight calls and discovery calls, to say, hey, you have a lot of really great goals. My signature offer is 3 months or 6 months, but the majority of my clients stay on for 9 months, a year. And to put that expectation up front, knowing that with these goals, it's not a conversation that you're putting off right before they renew, because then they're going to kind of feel blindsided. They're like, well, I wanted to do all of this in 12 weeks. We know it probably isn't going to be possible. So having those hard conversations at the beginning and really structuring out that timeline for them is going to help them long-term just be successful, but then also help you retain them a bit longer, not in a sleazy or way that you're trying to make money, but just really being there and their advocate, all the way through.
Well, behavior change is so hard. I mean, let's just be honest, especially when it comes to lifestyle and diet, it is really, really challenging. So I am completely 100% with you. Having had a lot of coach training in my background, specifically wellness coaching, I just feel so strongly that just to dump everything on the client and at one time, it just doesn't work. It overwhelms them. And it's just really challenging all the way around. So it's kind of like, like going gluten-free, dairy-free, like adding 5-6 servings of vegetables a day, cooking
that alone.
All of these things, like all of these things are like, they're really, really huge.
They're massive changes, especially the fruit and vegetable servings one. That one cracks me up because it's always a goal. And it's like, I got to get 3 of these a day. And it's like, I'm not getting 3 vegetable servings on every single day. So think about it practically. Like maybe next week we do 1 extra serving and we do that for 5 days. Yes. And then the next week we replicate it if we met that goal. And then the next week we increase it to 6 days. And then the next week we start adding in the servings and the portions each day. But those goals take a long time. So it's up to us as the coach, as the provider, to take their goals and map them out in a structure and letting them pick which one they want to focus on first. They're going to be really motivated session 1. Their motivation is going to be contagious. And you really have to focus them on, this is usually what happens. You get really excited about a new way of eating or this new trendy thing that's come up in the news. I've seen girl dinner more times than I want to see on TikTok recently, which I think is the funniest thing ever. But these trendy things that come up more often, and for you to say, we're going to focus 2 weeks on this goal. I call it a sprint goal. Focus 2 weeks on this goal, and we're going to reevaluate at our next call and see what we need to do with this one. Do we need to decrease it? Can we increase it? Because you kept yourself accountable to it. And I'll be here to keep you accountable, but I need to see the progress for you to want to take on another goal. Basically proving it to me, but more importantly, proving it to themselves.
So good. Let's take a peek. We got a couple of comments here. Hey, Heidi. So Heidi, yay. She is an EatLove PRO.
Hi, Heidi. Member. Good to see you.
You guys already know each other.
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's see. Running a membership is intriguing, but intimidating. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. It's intriguing, but intimidating. Any comments on that?
I do. Just a quick one. And it may feel out of pocket in some ways where like, how does this relate? Running a business is the scariest thing anyone can do. But when you have a really great idea and you're passionate about it, people are going to listen to your message. They're going to listen to your passion about it. They're going to feel like they want to be a part of it. So the easiest thing you can do is just start talking about it. get a platform, start, your social media presence, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I think it's very important. I mean, it's the only way I meet clients and new people is through social media. I know there's lots of different ways that you can attract clientele, but a way to support and network this idea and this theme that you have is to just start talking about it. You don't have to offer anything. You don't have to say, I'm now accepting clients or I do this. It's just start talk about it. Get online, put your face out there, record a video about something that you did that day that was relevant to your niche, your business idea, your passion. And people are going to start to listen. They're going to start to follow along. And then when you do offer something and open your doors to accept clients or sell a program, there's really not going to be much of a sell to it because they already know who you are and they're excited to learn more from you. And we always say, if you buy once from someone, you're more likely to buy another offer. So being able to have multiple different things you can put them in, but it's going to feel less intimidating the more you talk about what you want to do, and it's going to feel more comfortable. One of the scariest activities I ever did, because I was terrified of like on-screen camera work for the longest time. It was like one of those things where I was working full-time at a nursing home and it was on a Saturday shift. And, my screen just went black. You guys can still hear me okay, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I have to get the screen back, but give me 1 second. And I was working full-time and it was my shift on a Saturday and it's really slow. So I'm like, you know what? I already had my platform and I'm talking about it and I'm doing a post like once a day on something related to Mediterranean lifestyle. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to record a video of myself talking about something. I still have that video and it is traumatizing to this day to go back and watch it because I was recording it knowing I was looking for like the way that I said things, what my face looked like, and it's truly awful. I was like, oh my God, I could never be on camera. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you feel, the more just natural you're going to feel on talking about whatever you're sharing with your members. So scary at first, just talk about it often. Don't feel like you're being annoying because people will stick around. Your followers are a true testament to that of who is still on your page and wanting to listen to your message. The more specific you can get that message, the more specific audience you get, and the more you end up learning about them and how to structure programs and offers out of that.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned being on camera. Those of you that are on my email list, you probably know I'm doing a webinar tonight all about being on camera and really getting active with video marketing. Mm-hmm. So we'll share the URL for that for those of you that maybe aren't on my list. So we'll share that here momentarily. But definitely, gosh, if you guys, such a great opportunity to get your message out there and really shorten that period of time that it takes from someone hearing about you, right? Mm-hmm. Just like learning about you potentially on social media all the way until they are comfortable in taking out their wallet and investing in your services. So that period of time normally, can be fairly long, and sometimes it still is, but I would just say overall, it's greatly compacted with video because people, they get a good sense of, who you are, right? And it's just so powerful. So if you guys are available tonight, I'm going to do a live webinar at 8 p.m. Eastern. So would love to have you. All right, let's see what else. Okay, so Nora, hey Nora. So Nora has a free membership and her sister is the beta tester. Mm-hmm. May add a second person to the platform as I find the right person. Learning how it works with the free membership. I had a great meeting with Allie a few weeks ago and oh, good. Yeah. Awesome. Incredible. Yep. So highly recommend. And then, Heidi says, hello. Okay. So that gives us a little indication in terms of where you guys are at in your process. So, all right. So tell us a little bit about those key features for client success that EatLove offers, right?
Yes.
And how can they be, I guess, integrated into this membership model that we're talking about?
Absolutely. So like I said, I've been in the EatLove community A little over almost 4 years now, I want to say. 2 as a super user, or 1.5 as a super user, 2 as their lead member success and lead dietitian. So I, even in those a little bit over 2 years of growth, the features that we've added have absolutely blown my mind in terms of how I can see this fitting in, how I can create revenue streams off of these features. One that comes to mind first and foremost is the nutrition analysis portal. This is a wonderful feature if you do any type of journal reviews, 3-day record reviews with your clients, and you're using crowdsourced tools like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer. Likely your client is going to be able to find an item with that name on it, but is that item actually has the correct information? Most likely not. That's the difference between crowdsourced data and the way that we do things at EatLove, where it's all our database of nutrition in general, and our food logging is validated by dietitians and food scientists, data scientists. So the nutrition analysis is probably one of my top features, if not my favorite feature, because it's a wonderful place to start with anyone. It doesn't matter if they're a one-on-one client, maybe not a membership client. That's a very, very low touch offer. I probably wouldn't be offering this feature to do myself, but a hybrid, absolutely. If they were like a half one-on-one, half group member, I would absolutely have a nutrition analysis part of that piece. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be analyzing everything that you see on a nutrition facts label, plus everything else that would, the main micronutrients, of course, your macros, food groups. We have over 100 of these different data points for nutrients that you can track at any one point in time, plus the automated ones that we always have working on the back end. If you were to export a nutrition analysis report, it's going to compare everything to an RDA based on age and gender, or if you have a specific goal, it's going to take that goal into perspective. You do the review, you put comments on it, you can share with them in your session. You can sell this feature by itself. This is what I was thinking of when we released this feature. $199 for a 2-week review that took you maybe 10 minutes from start to finish. It's going to take you 3 seconds to produce the report. The majority is you going through that report, adding some comments to it, very high level comments, talking about it more in your sessions. But being able to send them this really well organized, fully comprehensive report, it is incredible. And it's inside of EatLove. So if they're tracking their food, you're seeing this, they're seeing this, you can run the report. And it's an added benefit that you can add to your membership program in whatever level you have. I talk about one-on-one, hybrid, and then that very low touch offer that is pretty much just EatLove access. And there's a whole bunch of things in there that you could include. But nutrition analysis being one of my absolute favorites. The second one, we can't not mention meal planning and meal inspiration. You will always, if you've been around EatLove at all, or you've been on webinars with Leslie and myself before, I always talk about it in terms of meal inspiration. Because if I market that I am giving my clients a 7-day or a weekly meal plan, it's actually creating busy work for me that EatLove has already automated, in the sense that if I go into their portal and I create a meal plan in seconds, because that's what we do, and I say recommend to my client and I send it to them, I'm basically telling them that I'm going to do that every single week for you, when I don't have to do that. What I mean by automation for your business and a operating system for your clients is that the meals that are being pushed to them are from the same database of meals based on that nutrition prescription. And the easiest way I can describe this is, let's talk about diabetes. If we're all managing diabetes, we can't actually show the same recipes, because while it may be beneficial to diabetes in and of itself, the lifestyle factors come into play. Are they a beginner cook? Do they want easy recipes? Do they only want to they want no cook meals? Do they have multiple family members that they're cooking for? Are they avoiding peanuts or tomatoes? All of those things are going to go in and actually probably take over in terms of the likelihood of them to do something. If you give them, they tell you they're a beginner cook, they are managing diabetes, and you give them these recipes that are 12, 15 ingredients long in 45 minutes, they're never going to do it. Never going to do it. You have to figure out that line of lifestyle factors that's arguably more important for them to actually carry out the task at hand. And EatLove is going to filter that for you just from start to finish of lifestyle factors and nutrition prescription. So that's why we don't tag our recipes as diabetes friendly. We can't do that because it's not applicable to their lifestyle, more so than not. You can put filters on that will tell us we want less than 5 ingredients, or we want easy recipes. And then it's going to cross-reference with that nutrition prescription to make sure it still fits and push that information to them. So when I hit create a meal plan for my clients, those meals are coming from all of those lifestyle and dietary factors. It's actually 5 million different dietary and lifestyle factors. I actually just did a really great webinar Wednesday, the day before last, I can't remember, on AI-driven meal planning. So we go into a lot more detail on that webinar on what we're really calculating when we hit create a meal plan. So that's a super interesting one. If you guys are interested, send me an email after and I can send you a recording to that. But really, when we send that out, we're creating work for ourselves, because our clients, when they log in to the EatLove portal on their side, they see all the same stuff. They see everything that matches their nutrition prescription and their lifestyle factors. It's just the food at that point. So wouldn't we rather them pick food that we know they're going to make and feel inspired to do? Absolutely. So I call it meal inspiration. Weekly meal inspiration for every eating occasion is how I market that level in my membership program, because meal plan, it leaves little to desire, especially
right?
It doesn't have the same effect as it used to. It's like, when I hear meal plan, I think, oh God, how much work do I have to do to actually do this? Is what I think of, like if I was a client.
From a patient or a client standpoint.
From a patient perspective, absolutely. So if I'm helping you craft your meals in real time, you ran late from work and you're on the way home and you're starving and you need something from Chick-fil-A, we got you covered. We're going to show you what fits in that prescription based on all 5 million different dietary and lifestyle factors for every eating occasion. Those occasions being at-home recipes. We have 7,400 dietitian approved meals we're adding to it every single week. Restaurant meals, where we have over 170 popular North American chains like Chick-fil-A and Starbucks, and anything else that's super popular, it will be in that portal. Ready-made meals and meal kits. We have an integration with Sunbasket. Still the nutrition prescription. So if you are managing diabetes and you want a minimum of 3 vegetables a day, this is all part of that nutrition prescription. We're going to show you what fits that condition, that prescription, based on everything. And then meal kits, ready-made food. We have our own version of that as well, with popular frozen section food like Bird's Eye and Sweet Earth and Amy's Burritos, and how we can make it a full comprehensive meal. Amy's Burrito might not be a meal in itself because it's not balanced enough, but we're going to add a serving of broccoli to it and a clementine. And now we have made that a complete dish. So that's what we are doing at like a fraction of the cost. If you're looking for prepared foods or ready-made foods, but you want something that's a little bit friendlier to the wallet, we have a couple hundred examples of that in our platform.
Oh, so good. I'm going to put this comment back on. And this is from Lizette. Welcome, Lizette.
Hi, Lizette.
All right. So she's excited because she came across this today and she never knew about EatLove. So great discovery.
Welcome.
Welcome. Recently completed my functional nutrition certification, looking to start using a platform. Is this a standard platform or does it integrate with other practitioner platforms like Get Healthy or Practice Better? Jumped on late. Sorry if you covered this.
No worries. Happy to address it now. So we are a standalone platform. You can do similar EMR things directly through our portal, like manage your client caseload, message them, take notes, upload files, create a care plan for them. So we have light EMR capabilities. I will say I use EatLove as my EMR. I don't have 2 portals. I used to. It just felt easier to have them under one place because I had a really high seat capacity with EatLove. So I felt like I could more easily manage everyone if they're there, especially if you're looking to launch a membership program and you're worried about running out of seats. And they don't necessarily need to be in your EMR because you're not doing one-on-one work with them. EatLove can manage your membership from start to finish. You just need, of course, a way to take payment, and you need your Calendly link to schedule any calls or any follow-ups if that is part of the program, whether it's a group call or not, or no calls, but just make sure that they are on some sort of automated payment structure, however you do your payment methods. I personally use Stripe, cannot say any better things about it. It's wonderful. We are looking for deeper integrations, however, in the future with some of the most popular EMRs that we hear in our community. So not to say that we, aren't doing that. We are happy to do that and explore those options in the future, but EatLove can absolutely be used as a standalone. Many of our providers do both, and they make it very clear on what they're doing in each portal. Like EatLove is going to be the nutrition side of your EMR. So taking any type of daily intake, so the log, the nutrition analysis, even the messaging, recipe collections, which will add more to that when I get back to Leslie's original question. But those types of things is you can do nutrition. I call EatLove the nutrition EMR all the time. It's one of the ways I use to describe it. As long as everything is nutrition related, it is going inside EatLove, and that's how we're communicating back and forth.
Yeah, it is a very, very robust platform for sure. So I wanted to circle back around to something really quick. So you had talked about creating that accountability within your membership programs, which is so critical. So how do you utilize the EatLove platform to help you to accomplish that? I mean, other than the obvious, right? Other than like, okay, we're going to create these meal inspirations kind of based on where you are. Do you use some of the other tools?
Yeah, it's a great question, and kind of rounds out my answer to the features within EatLove and what you can do to build a membership. First and foremost, there's a messaging portal, so you can message them and keep them accountable that way. Great. I would always recommend, like if it's an unlimited membership or limited communication, that's a premium price. You incorporate that. Even if they're not utilizing it, they're paying for unlimited communication. So never feel guilty about that. Message them as much as you need to for that message to be helpful to them. But I would usually do like weekly messages with my one-on-ones. And if they write back based on that note, we may go back a couple of times, but I have a strategic time of day when I answer those messages. We have reports in EatLove that will tell you who is engaged, who's semi-engaged, who's disengaged, so you can reach out to them in that sense to get them reignited if they're having any trouble with the SMART goals or any of the homework you've assigned to them. You can see it clear as day. You actually get a provider report every Friday that will give you a summary of who's been doing what in your portal and who needs a touch point, which is a nice, helpful reminder for you to do really easily. In terms of engagement and accountability, that piece. But one of my favorites is the recipe collections. I talk about this all the time. It's probably my second favorite feature of EatLove, especially if you're working with a similar type of clientele. So if you are working with disease state or a lifestyle intervention, having a collection of recipes that you can share to every single member on every single tier of your programs is amazing. So it doesn't matter if they're one-on-one or hybrid or membership. The collection is a standalone, is a staple in that program, because every month I am doing an in-season produce collection, because that's a tidbit of Mediterranean lifestyle. You're eating as in season as possible. There's lots of benefits of eating seasonally. So every month, without fail, I will go into EatLove and I will type in my new title for August. It'll be August in-season produce collection. You can add up to 30 recipes per collection. I personally do 15. I think 30 is a little overwhelming for one person. Right. And it's for the month. So with that, I will go in there and I'll search by keyword. It's usually by the produce. So if it's broccoli that's in season, I'm going to type in broccoli. I'm going to look for a really interesting recipe. Maybe it's a side dish. Maybe it's a main dish. Make sure that I haven't used it in a previous collection, because I've made dozens of these collections over the years. But we have 7,400 recipes. So it's very rare that I end up repeating myself. And I add those to a collection and I send them off to every single person that I am working with. Doesn't matter the capacity, because it's that one-to-many offer. So it's just me adding someone to the recipient list. And it's a great value add to that. My clients love it. I highlight those recipes within a Facebook group or on my social media. I cook those dishes during my month in the week when I do highlight them. Okay. So I can stir up interest of the program and really practice what I preach and live it. Instagram's super fun with their changing rules and things that they want for the algorithm to do. So it keeps you on your toes. So maybe I'm doing a static post of the ingredients of a recipe that I'm making, and I make it really fun and graphically related to my brand, or I'm doing a quick reel where I'm showing my pictures and I'm like, well, let me show you how this turns into a Mediterranean dream. And it's just a 3-4 second video of just like one of those snap your finger ones and boom, the dish is done. But it's highlighting something that I'm doing in my program that you can be a part of when you do join. And it's, I would probably say, one of the biggest engagement and accountability features for some of these programs, where I can see when they click on the links and I can see when they're adding things to their meal planner. And there's a huge influx in it the first couple of days of the month when I send out that recipe collection. It can be whatever is related to your goal. If it's healthy weight breakfasts or antioxidant filled dinners, you can name it whatever you want. You can absolutely make a collection with what I call our mega filter, and just really streamline exactly what you're looking for based on time to cook, skill level, meal avoidances. There's 14 different filters within the filter. So there's something for everyone when you're making collections.
Wow. Okay. Super cool. All right. As we start to wrap up, where, for our our audience today that wants to learn more, how should they learn more?
You can go to the link if you don't have a free account already. I don't know if I chat in here, will they see it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, you could type
All right,
in.
I will type in here, eatlove.is/pro/medical. Will get you to our medical landing page where you can set up a free account. There is no trial associated with this, which is wonderful. So you can learn Eat Love on your own time. It's very low stress. There's no timeline associated with it. And you can use Eat Love for up to 2 clients. Completely free, no credit card information required to get started. So very, very low stress way to be part of our community, get on our mailing list. We do webinars at least once a month on some sort of topic related to Eat Love, whether it's learn how to use it for a membership or check out our new feature that you can build an entirely new revenue stream around, or this past Wednesday, which was AI-driven meal planning, which was a super interesting topic. So that would be the first place to start. If you have any questions, I would use our support email, support@eatlove.is, and one of our team members will be able to assist you with anything that you need that way. The EatLove.is homepage is going to have a lot of information on there. We have a really great FAQ at the very bottom that'll answer questions on pricing and programming and how you do this in your business and what type of plans we support and all that good stuff. So I highly recommend checking out the FAQ first. It will probably answer a lot of those initial questions.
Awesome. All right, guys. So I put the URL right here. So eatlove.is/pro/medical. Yeah. And I really love that free trial. And it's not even a trial. It's, I mean, it's
free
not
forever.
it's not a time limited, right?
Yeah.
It's 2 clients, which can be yourself, right?
It can be yourself. It can be a family member. It could be yourself and a real client. The real take-home message with this one is that you can have these 2 free people pay for your membership before you even upgrade, which is, I mean, if you're doing a one-on-one program and it's a $500 a month program, that pretty much covers 1 month, covers your entire Eat Love cost for the year. And then when you add anybody else on top of that, it just adds and adds and adds and builds. Where our goal for anyone is like a 10-to-1 return on investment, but I've seen much, much higher. I've experienced much higher as well. So sky really is the limit when it comes to that, if you're positioning it the right way. If you want to offer it to free for a family member, have someone trial it out, and then you want to make money off of that seat, you can always deactivate them and add a paying client. And then when you upgrade, you can reactivate that old account if you would still like to give them access.
Okay. Great strategy. And guys, I did want to also, as promised, I wanted to share that URL in case you want to jump on Zoom with me tonight. I'm going to go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in a webinar format. And I'll be teaching on video marketing like a pro, get more views, subscribers, and sales with live video. Even, I should add the caveat, even if you hate being on camera, all right? Right?
Let's start somewhere.
Because that is a big thing. I'll be sharing a little bit about my story. And let me tell you, it was tough. But here I am, over 3.5 years later, every single Thursday, consistently going live. And I do want to say, If I can do it, so can you. I promise. All right. So I hope you can join me. The URL is on your screen, lesliebytel.com/video-marketing. So I'm going to share lots of pearls that you can take away to really put video marketing into action in your business. All right, guys. So I hope to see you tonight. And as we start to wrap up, Allie, is there any kind of final words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our audience today?
So many things, Leslie. Yeah, we covered a lot today. I think just first and foremost, just get started. Like I said, talk about your passion, what you want that niche to be. If you want to start general and work your way down to figure out who you want to work with, who you enjoy working with, there's no harm in doing that. I think many of us started in that realm as well. And then you're really going to find what you like talking about the most and what really gets you up in the morning and wants you to keep creating content and reaching as many people as you possibly can on it. But it starts with just talking about it and never stop talking about it. So don't feel like you're being repetitive in your messages. People are coming in and out of your audience on a daily basis. Even that's a note for selling too. If you talk about your program 4 to 5 times a week, because people are shifting all of the time, and you want to make it obvious that if they need to know where to go to, that you offer these things whenever you are ready to open those doors and accept clients to your offer. But just get started. Just talk to your audience. If you're not sure where to start, pull them all the time. Pull them. What do you want to learn? Message them, thank them for following your page, and ask them directly what you want them to learn. 3 years later, I haven't done this in some time and I want to get back to it. That is where the relationship starts with a lot of these members. I don't have experience doing that as well on Facebook. I think Facebook has some other guidelines in place that hide those messages pretty well. But DMs on Instagram are like, oh, a new friend, let's see. It'll always show you just maybe in the hidden request. And they love hearing from you because they see you as this position, this expert position of what they need. And when you reach out to them and you say, hey, so-and-so, welcome to my page. I'm so excited to have you here. I'd love to learn more about what drew you to my page and what you want to learn about. It's not a sales tactic. It is in some ways, because you're pulling them and you're understanding more about why they're here and what they want to learn about. But I will tell you, the clients that I signed, probably 80-90%, if I scroll back to the beginning of a conversation to see what that initial touch point was, that stupid message.
Really? That is
yes.
So cool.
And I was like, oh, I have to do this every day. And I would be doing 15 to 30 on a daily basis. And I'm like, oh, not again. Like every single person, it was that message at the very beginning of just welcoming them. Like, hey.
And you did that by hand, right?
I did that by hand.
I don't think Instagram allows for automations on that.
I haven't seen any. If there was, it'd be the best money I ever spent, honestly.
Yeah, there might be some integrations, but I have heard that, it's a little maybe risky. I don't know if Instagram really likes.
Yeah, there's no HIPAA things related with that. So that's
nothing like that.
With it. Yeah,
nothing like that. So okay, you're just honestly, it's very heartfelt. It's welcoming people to.
It is.
That's page.
It. And they love it. And they'll reach out again, or you can funnel them into a highlight that you want them to see, or a video that you shared in the past. You can share links in the DMs. So that's great. But that message, and I haven't done it, like I said, in quite some time, but if I want to start really monetizing the membership that I have currently, that's one of the first things I'm going to go back to, because it had such a positive response rate. Let's say I did 30 messages on one day. I probably got 20 responses.
Okay. You know what, Ellie? I would love to have you back to talk about how you're marketing on social media.
Absolutely. I could talk about that all day.
All right.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
That would be amazing. So yeah, that would be so cool. All right, guys. So we are going to go ahead and wrap up for the day. This was amazing. As always, Allie, it's always such a treat to be able to sit down and talk with you. And to our audience, I hope you guys got a ton of value. Lots of great strategies and tips. And most importantly, I really hope that this chat today has inspired you to take action. Okay, one of the big takeaways, and I know that Allie, because I heard her say it, it's so interesting how like we kind of echo each other.
We do. Yeah.
It's really, really cool. Oh my gosh, like in so many areas, like the coaching, the not giving people too many goals at once.
Mhm.
And definitely, please get started. Do it before you feel perfectly ready. And I know that can be
Sometimes feel
scary. Believe me, I've been there. I know that's like kind of mind-boggling. But yeah, just do it. Set a goal,
get a
look
launch
at the
date.
calendar, get a launch
Put it
date,
in.
announce it, and then you kind of have to follow through, right? Like that. I think that's a great way to make yourself move forward. And
Mhm.
I promise you, it will never be perfect. You will always have things that you want to change, adjust, fix, like all kinds of things. So let's just get started now, right? Because that is the only way you're going to know. I promise. So I want to see practitioners. I really want you guys to be successful, and I know you can do it because I see it every day in the work that I do. So the first step, really, just make your mind up that you're going to do it. Know it's going to be uncomfortable. Lean into it, because if it's not uncomfortable, probably something's not right,
Something's
right?
not adding up.
You got to
Yep.
be a little uncomfortable, I think. Not horrible, but a little discomfort is, I think, a little dose of healthy discomfort, I think, is good. But anyway, bottom line, let's lean into it and make a commitment. All right, guys, I know you can do this. So, and Eat Love is a fabulous tool. Okay, I have my free account, and it's really helpful, especially for me personally. I love it to help come up with Mediterranean
Me too.
ideas.
Yeah, every week, every Saturday, I'm in there planning from my couch on my app. I'm shopping my fridge and my pantry first. I'm checking things off of my list, and then I'm sending it out to order online. And tomorrow morning, it's there. It makes really great content too. So like you record yourself getting your groceries delivered, and people want to know how did I do that
Yeah, magic.
with
Yeah, that's
magic?
awesome.
Like how did I do this with my meals recommended from my dietitian? Like all of these
So
really
good.
cool things just come out of streamlining their own life and their system at home, and you get to be a huge part of that.
All right, guys, we're going to have to wrap it up. So thank you, Allie. It was great seeing you. And I hope everyone in our audience, hope you have a great rest of your week, an awesome weekend. And I look forward to seeing you next week. All right, guys, take care. Bye for now.
Thanks. Bye.